Couple shout-outs, like I've kind of done one. Obviously, Ty Felton being named to the semifinalist list for the Balentikov Award, which is a great honor, individual honor, that I'm sure if you were to ask Ty, he'd give a lot of credit to his teammates. And then secondly, I know this weekend, I think it's A.J. Francis is doing his canned food drive. Sean Merriman did his coat drive a week ago. This is a tremendous, work being done by our alums, continuing to give back to the university and to the College Park community. I know AJ has his canned food drive this Saturday, so I appreciate those two guys and what they've done every year around here. And then, as always, good luck with Sasho. I know with men's soccer, they start their run in the NCAA tournament this Thursday here at home, so good luck to our soccer program. As we transition into obviously the football piece here, I'll start by saying, look, I mean, it's been a challenging last few weeks, to say the least. We've been working really hard as a team and as a program in terms of taking the accountability for what's gone wrong, and doing everything we can to create some momentum and create some change. And, one of the things I said, and I said this to you guys earlier in the year, I'm going to choose optimism over pessimism. I'm going to choose growth and progress over dwelling on the past. And you know what? That's kind of been the way around here. I know we are nowhere near where we want to be as a program. When you look at it, just call it what it is. But I still know we are who we want to be. When you look at the character of the team, you look at the way our team continues to show up, continue to fight, continue to practice. So, again, I'll reiterate, we aren't where we want to be, but we're still who we want to be. And I can tell you that there's nobody over in that building that is not willing to continue to put the work in to find a way to finish this thing the right way. And we're a team. We're a team that stays in it till the last seconds on the clock. We fight hard until the end. You don't see us just lay down and quit. And, our head is down, and we're going to continue to focus on progress each and every day. And so, we got a group of seniors that are going to be honored here Saturday on Senior Day. And I want to take this opportunity to thank those young guys and the young men for the work they've put into this program over the last, for some of them, 1-2 years that are transferring in, but for others that have, like a Ruben Hippolyte who's done 6 years here, and, the Ty Feltons of the world that have spent their last 4 or 5 years in this program. And I just can't thank them enough for the work that they've done to put us in position where, we talk about, raising the ceiling. Well, it starts with raising the floor first, and I can tell you that these guys really put a big foundation that will allow us to get where we want to go. And I can't thank those young men enough that will be honored Saturday. It's a group that's helped define and showcase the vision I have for this program and building the culture. With 3 straight winning seasons heading into this year, they can leave here holding their heads high that they left the Maryland football family in better shape. Even with the tough season that we faced this year. When you talk about Iowa, obviously, a ton of respect for Kirk Ferentz and the job he's done there with the consistency of his program. It's one that, as a young coach, and you look at the way he's built that consistent program there, he does a great job, and their formula has always remained unchanged. I mean, they're going to run the football, they're going to play really good defense and really balanced and everything how they do it. I think they're 6th in scoring offense, 6th in scoring defense, and this is even with injuries. And I know they're battling some injuries at the quarterback position, but again, that ability to line up and know who you are, and they're very comfortable with their way of winning. Is a reflection of Kirk and the job he's done there over the years. We've got a bunch of game captains. We got 3 on here, but I think I did Roman Hemby, I did Glenn Miller, I did Ruben Hippolyte, and Ty Felton are our 4 captains. So we did 4 this week, and this is to honor those 4 guys and have them lead us as they've spent the most time in our program. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions you guys may have.
Mike, you mentioned the senior class. What stands out in particular about their growth as leaders, and specifically, this rough patch, how they've been able to kind of steady the locker room?
Well, I think the big thing with this group, where their biggest growth has been, is this has been a group of players that have been developed. Again, I say this, and this is not a knock because I think this is a great compliment to our staff and the evaluations of our, the general manager at that time, Gerald Dixon, who came in as one of the first in that role. His ability to evaluate and bring players in like Ty, like Glenn Miller, like Ruben Hippolyte. These are guys that maybe weren't the five-star guys, but obviously what we've seen with Ty being named to the Balintikoff Award, obviously really talented players. And to see players come in and develop is a lot like coming into where we came in and seeing the program get to where the expectation is we're disappointed right now. I take that and I welcome it because we should be disappointed. But I think the biggest area of this group of seniors is to see their development and not just the talk of wanting to build something, but you actually see that they've built it. So to give a vision and then see it built, it's a pretty neat thing, and I think that's what that group has brought to the table for us.
Certainly, senior day, huge deal, but the fact that you need to win the next two to get to become bowl eligible, does that magnify the game even more, or how do you look at that?
I mean, we one game at a time still. We know we had three one-game seasons. We let one out last Saturday. We got another opportunity against a really good team, and that's the one we focus on. And for our seniors, I mean, I want to lay it on the line and do the best job I can as the guy that's leading the charge to ensure we prepare the right way to give ourselves a chance to win at home. Our last home game in the shell for these guys, again, that's a special moment, and it's one that I'd love to see our guys, this group especially, because of what they've done and what they've meant to us over the last 4 or 5 years. I'd love to see those guys leave here with a great memory of their last time in the shell as a player.
Caleb Johnson this season having an incredible year. They're 4-0 in Big Ten play when he rushes for over 100 yards, 0-3 when he does not. What makes him a special back? What is going to make him such a challenge for your defense?
Balance and power. I mean, every week we got these running backs. I mean, Oregon's running back this last week, having him number 5 back for Rutgers. I mean, it's the nature of the beast in the Big Ten. And again, he's one of the best, if not the best, in terms of just when he's over 100 yards, they win. So I guess we better do a great job of trying to minimize his ability to get over 100. But his power, his vision, with running backs, it's not always about speed. It's about power, vision, and the ability to make something out of nothing. And this guy is a load and runs behind his pads and will be a physical challenge for us.
Conversely, you guys were able to run the ball really well in the first half last week before the game kind of got out of your hands. You've had a chance to check out the tape. What are some of the seeds to success last Saturday that you hope to build off and grow on this week?
We took some of the RPOs off. All right, and when you do that, you have to schematically ensure that you have enough people to block people. All right, if you just get into the math, I always say football's a math game. And what we did a week ago with the emphasis of, hey, we need to run the ball because it takes pressure off of our young offensive line. I think we had 7 drives last week where we moved the ball down the field, but we don't come up with enough points. That's not enough production and not enough big plays, which we did have opportunities because there were some big plays that we left on the field. And, I think our team, after yesterday's meeting, all had a chance to see it. We watched the tape together as a team, which we hadn't done all year, and it now gives our defense a chance to see offensively, hey, you know what, we got some guys that didn't make plays, and it gives our offense a chance to see on defense, hey, you know what? So now that leadership, as I said, our defense was a more veteran group going into the season, and now when you do those things, it holds each other accountable to saying, hey, am I doing my job? Because I get held accountable a lot for the job of the leader, which I should. Well, the landscape of college football is changing to where, you know what, players are going to be held accountable as well, and they understand that, and it's part of the lesson that we're teaching as we transition into where we are in college athletics. So,
hey, Coach, wanted to ask, I know you talked about Ty a little bit after the Rutgers game, but when the season ultimately ends, I think he'll be at the top or near the top of almost every Maryland record for a receiver. What does this season mean to the program? What does he mean to the program? And what do you think his legacy will ultimately be here?
Yeah, I mean, again, Ty is one of my favorite, and he has been for even before he caught the ball. And I think had this year, this breakout year, and I think Ty will attest to, over the years. I've been Ty's probably next to his mom, who is a huge cheerleader. I've been probably his biggest cheerleader, other than mom, because I always thought I thought Ty had that in him. Probably more than he thought of himself, and we've worked really hard with Ty on the mental piece of sports performance. I put him in that category of like a Jacorian Bennett. Really talented players that somehow, some way, we got to get them out of their own head. And so for me, it's so rewarding to see Ty be able to have this type of year. He's a guy I said a year ago, and again, this is not the pillow talk, but a year ago he had a chance to leave here. But here's what I respect about Ty, and this is why the relationship is really strong, because he remembered when he lost a bunch of people when he had his injury in high school, that a lot of people didn't stick with him. And to see young kids that have that type of loyalty and remember, you know what, you did have my back, Maryland football, when nobody else did. And when he had a chance to leave, because people saw his potential at the end of last year, he stuck it out. He stuck it out with a quarterback. We lost Talia Tungavaloa, the all-time leading passer. He trusted me that we'll have somebody and develop somebody. And so for that's where that relationship is really special for me. And I hope Ty's legacy lives, like guys like Torrey Smith and Stephon Diggs and Rakim Jarrett and all these greats that have played here over the years. And he's one of those guys.
For sure. And Ty's like a guy you talked about kind of progressed his whole career. Roman, on the other hand, his best season came in his sophomore year, and kind of his, production at least has gone down.
You're going to the negative side. You set me up.
Why do you think that he's maybe not been able to replicate that production and not been able to get back to that sophomore year?
Well, Roman plays a position that, as you look at it over the years, it's if you give him 35 carries, you hurt his NFL opportunities, because now he has a lot of wear and tear on his treads. And if you give him 10, 15 touches, I got to deal with why he ain't getting enough touches. And so there's a fine line between, we try to use Roman in the ways that best accentuate what he does well. Tremendous vision, speed, catches the ball well out of the backfield. The running back position in this system has always kind of been the way you see it play out. We've always had two or three guys from, Anthony McFarland, Javon Leake, and Jake Funk and Leake. But, before that, Bruce Perry, Lamont Jordan, and Chris Downs. We've always played kind of a lot of backs. And contrary to the stats, Roman has been as valuable a piece of this offensive system over the last 3 years. And it's like when you play the D-line and you do your job really well, but because you don't see a touchdown or you don't see the 20-yard run, you think he's not contributing. But the value that Roman Hemby has contributed to this program, you can't put a price tag on it. So I hate that maybe he's looked at that he didn't have a great year this year, but if you look at what he's done for us in a tough year, he's worth everything that he's earned here.
Like, borrowing off Gene's question, needing 2 wins in the last 2 games, how would you describe the sense of pressure around the team?
I don't describe it. There's no sense of pressure. We're just getting ready like we have always for the next game. It's the way we prepare. It's the way we game plan. Again, I hate doing earnings calls every week. I hate every week having to come up and explain last week, this week, where we're going, where we're not going. Like, these are things where you at the end of the year. So we try to prepare for every game the same way. There's no added pressure based on what we have to do, because when you do that, that means you're not in the moment. And so right now the focus has been on Iowa. How do we best put ourselves in position to win a game at home against Iowa? The last 2, the 6, and even get the 6. I mean, we do understand that. I mean, I have to acknowledge that piece. But the emphasis has not been on we got to get these next 2. It's about Iowa.
And then you mentioned optimism over pessimism.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say about what to look forward to, for those people who might be disillusioned with how the season's been going thus far?
I talk to the people that I need to about that. That's my boss and my team. And so I give us crap gauges on E about explaining optimism to anybody outside the program, because if you really are a true Maryland football fan and you look at this team, The sure is disappointing, man. We've left some plays on the field. We left some games that we could have won, should have won. That's happening all around college football. And so what I will say is that the kids in the program, the way they play and the way they prepare and the way that they have recruited, and, we're still having a great year in recruiting. I mean, nobody's falling off the wagon based on this year because you know what? We speak very authentic and honestly about where we are. And where we are, this record is where we are. And it's my job, obviously, as I said when I first started, very disappointed where we are. But I'm also going to tell you I'm going to choose optimism over pessimism. The optimism is, you know what? We got a really good team that's young, that's earning their stripes right now, and in two of the toughest places to earn your stripes. We got a great quarterback that's coming back to play another year that's one of the top in the country. All right, we've got a young offensive line that will be battle-tested that has gotten better the last 2 weeks. We've been able to cover people up. The next step is to knock people off the ball. So I see signs the last 2 weeks, contrary to the outcomes, that we've gotten better as a team. And I'll challenge anybody. You want to let's look at the tape.
Hey, Coach.
Colin, what's up?
Nothing much. How's it going? Yes, I'm not sure if you caught the men's basketball game on Friday against Marquette, but just the environment there, the fans getting loud after every point, after every defensive stop. How close do you feel you are to capturing that same energy and environment, bringing it to the show on a consistent basis?
I mean, I didn't catch it. I was somewhere game planning with the team, getting ready for the game, so I can't speak on it. How close are we to having that type of environment? I mean, I really enjoyed this season here in the Shell, the way our fans and the students and have supported us even through a tough year. I mean, they've shown up, and so again, we don't get into, that's not my job to figure out how to get people to come. I've tried to put a product out on the field. We have tried to show that we've got a really good team now. The record doesn't always reflect it yet, but I feel really comfortable that as we continue to bring in the right kind of players and we continue to build this program to the championship level that I envision and intend to do, I think you'll see them come like they have over at Xfinity.
Coach, I know you can't talk about.
I can't hear you, Sam.
I know you can't talk about recruits until they sign their letter of intent, but I want to ask you, with a particular player in mind, how hard is it to start as a freshman at quarterback, and what type of skill set would that require?
How hard is it to start as a freshman? Well, let's see. Jalen Hurts was a true freshman. He started. Tua Tagovailoa started as a true freshman. I've played Juice Williams. I coached him as a true freshman at Illinois. He started as a freshman. This system is a quarterback-friendly system. But the good thing is that, you know what, we've played true freshmen and we've played returning starters at the position. And the one good thing is they're all going to get coached, and they're going to get coached and developed like we've shown in this system. And so I'm excited about Billy returning in the system for a second starting season, possibly. I'm excited for the unknown people that you referenced to be here. I'm excited to be able to add a bunch of pieces. If you really want to know, that's the optimism I have. If you want to write that in your column, that's the optimism I have, is that, you know what, we've built and designed a structure and strategies that have allowed us to grow this program.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.